there's been sort of a perception that the reason that there are fewer kids in Western societies is because women want fewer kids. But your research would indicate that's not necessarily true. They may want as many kids as they've ever wanted, but for other reasons, they're not able to find the partners. They're not able to conceive, they're not able to successfully carry through the pregnancy. So that's a fascinating just nugget right there, is that some of the assumptions being made about why the fertility rates are down are not right. This isn't just
Yep.
people saying, "Oh, I don't want kids." It are there are other factors. What do you feel is the leading of those factors? Is it more of a matching issue, a biological issue? What are the factors that are preventing a woman who say has the ideal of a family of three or four, but only ends up with one? What are some of the leading causes of that?
The biggest factor is partnership. So if marriage is coming later, and for an increasing number of people, it's not coming at all. This is the reality is most people, even if they're most people want to raise a child with a partner. Ideally, a committed partner, a partner who is homogamous on certain important traits, is a peer in certain ways, treats them like a peer in a variety of ways. Um, so that can be hard to find, and especially as various tools for efficient matching have gone by the wayside, and as in-person community declines, and that's the community where you're overwhelmingly most likely to find a mate. In terms of like your mate success chance per interaction. Um, so uh, declining marriage, declining coupling is definitely the single biggest factor. Then you have to ask, why is that declining? It's like an infinite regress of whys, right? So, well, then you get on like educational timelines and work history timelines, changing norms about partnership. Like I said, the loss of efficient matching mechanisms, increasing diversity in society that makes it more complicated to find someone who is homogamous on valued traits. A growing number of specific traits that are seen as like essential, right? So it's no longer your partner just needs to like, if you're a woman, you want your man to just earn a certain amount and blah blah. No, it's like he also needs to be these other things. Like, and same for a man. The list of requirements is growing. That just makes efficient matching more difficult. Um, so I'm not saying like lower your standards to raise the birth rate, but this is a real problem, and we need to be thinking seriously about okay, um, which standards are really important, which ones are not. How do we help people match across increasingly complex and multifaceted standards? And how do we help them do so earlier? Because to be clear, most people want like current average marriage ages are higher than people say they want for themselves. So, like, people want to get married younger than they are. So how we do that is a complicated problem. So marriage is the biggest one. Then there's other things like housing costs that are rising in lots and lots of countries. Um, and then there are lots of other factors. And in each country, there's a different story as well. I mean, fertility decline in India is a very different beast than fertility decline in Qatar, which is a very different beast than in Finland versus the U.S. I mean, we're going to be talking about really different specific instantiations of these kinds of problems.